Hi, this is Robert with last Sunday, April 6th, VARA race at Willows Springs. It's called the High Desert Challenge. I was in Group 3 with all the Formula cars, 17 of them, which makes for some spins and some passing, and we had a couple surprise photographs at the end too. Bob and Cody and a visitor were there. It was pretty cold and windy on Saturday and Friday. Sunday was nice, and Vince was there with us, and his family, Chris, Les, and David, came down, so thanks for coming down, guys. Most of the action's in turn 4, where the first spin is, and then in turn 1, where the second spin was at, and then the green boxes, those show you where I let myself get trapped a couple times by traffic. And this next part is showing Bob's favorite part of getting ready for a race.
That's the top one, and you get that.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, put it back. It's going.
It's filming now?
Yeah.
It's going to hear me sound really stupid. Is it on now?
Yeah. And you try to put the tape there on top of the stick, but don't worry about it too much, Bob.
I'm going to get it.
Not sure which is funnier, Bob barking at the camera or Carrie Ann giggling at Bob, but we had fun getting ready for the race, as you can see. There's really just 3 cars at the front of the race. The 2 on the right there, myself and Paul in the light blue Ralts. And then this white car that's going to come up here in a moment, it's Glenn in a 1988 Toyota Atlantic. Our cars are 1988 Ralt Super Vs. And the rest of the field are in Formula Fords and sports racers and some club Fords, all a little bit slower. So as you can see, this is a shot from the stands, and it's a lot of cars on the track, 17 of them, and that traffic will come into play several times during the race for us as we start to lap them later on. I thought I'd show you a whole entire lap from the stands. So this is coming out of turn 2 into turn 3, where we head up to the top of the hill, the horseshoe. That's Glenn in front, myself, and then Paul. And I can't really see who else is behind us. Mostly just kind of showing to you that I stayed pretty close to Glenn in this first lap here, and was trying to pressure him a little bit into maybe a mistake or so if I could stay close enough. And I do stay pretty close until we get into the turn 8, and then the bigger engine, more horsepower, faster RPM he kind of starts pulling away, which is what I was expecting. And so as I'm finishing up lap 1 here, we're actually still in turn 8 and 9. As we come out of turn 9 going to the front straight, I'm thinking, well, this is going to kind of be a cruise day. I'll cruise along right here and pretty much just finish in this order, and probably about this kind of distance between us. Paul has the same exact car as I do, but for whatever reason, I've just been doing a lot of laps lately. I'll be a little quicker than him, and not expecting to get up close. Of course, that turns out to be wrong. This is a start from the interior shot, obviously from my camera on my roll bar, a good old GoPro. And as you saw from the exterior, in the interior, it's a nice clean start. Bob's about to tell me that I'm clear. I answer back that copy, and on we go. Good shot of turn 2 here, where we're doing about 80-90 miles an hour. A little bit slower than I do sometimes. I only had about 6,200 RPM because my tires are pretty old. Only 170 laps on them so far, so this is the last session for them. But in my favorite section, the horseshoe here, I'm kind of harassing Glenn a little bit, keeping the pressure on him. And in this corner here, turn 6, 5 and 6, over the top of the hill, I put a little pressure on him, but right here you'll see him start to pull away as we enter the really fast sweeper turn 8 and turn 9. This is a fun turn, little hairy at times. I'm be doing about 135, 138 on the on good tires, best days, and you turn onto front straight, get back up to about 135 or so before you turn into turn 1. So nice, uneventful lap 1, and I'm thinking the whole race is going to be this way. I think we're going to skip ahead about 4 or 5 laps here from lap 2 all the way up. Nope, showing you the end of the lap 1 from the stands again, just to let you see how far apart we are and what I think it's going to stay. How I think it's going to stay. And that was Bob there in the red and black talking to me, letting me know what's going on. So now we're going to jump ahead to, I think it's lap 5, yeah, the end of lap 5 and beginning of lap 6 here. Again, everything's going according to my mental plan, but things are about to change here as we get to the top of the horseshoe. During the space of the last 5 laps, I did close down a little bit on Glenn up in front of us. Doesn't look super close here, but it was a lot closer than it was, and I don't know if he's feeling a little pressure or what, but he'll make a little mistake here in the top of the turn 4. Don't know any of that. This is going to be a bit of a surprise to me. You'll see me hit the brakes pretty quick, almost spin a little myself, walk up the tires trying to make sure I don't hit them. And then you see Paul, who was right behind me and then closed up behind me, I didn't really know it. He goes shooting around both of us and almost takes the lead. There'll be some exterior views and it'll show you just how close we are, and Glenn kind of did a really good job to keep the car on the track and get pointed back in the right direction, but he probably should have just held his spot there and let us go by and then chase us down, particularly as fast as he was. It was a little bit hairy there if I had poked him in the side. I think right here in this real slow-mo you can just see that I'm going at a pretty good clip and then really hit the brakes to stop. And then I think we'll pick up from the interior camera again, the GoPro, and now we're off again. And the truth is, no harm, no foul, so away we go. And I know it's only 6 laps. I see Paul there. I know I'm going to be able to chase him down. And so I'm thinking at this point, okay, we'll just, in a little bit, get back in order. And, well, again, I'll finish second, and Glenn first, and Paul third. But same, just coming out of that same area, Paul manages to get Glenn stuck behind some traffic and pops out and passes him. So all of a sudden, I'm back in the back here laughing, think, well, that probably won't last long. That Formula Atlantic's just got too much horsepower. But it was pretty funny seeing Paul go from third to first now. But again, in my mind, I'm thinking it shouldn't be much of a problem. Just get around this traffic, and after Glenn passes Paul, I will too, and we'll be back in the order we were. I do let Paul get away from me there, and Glenn a little far ahead, but I'm not too worried about it with a lot of laps left. But again, I get a little surprise here as we go around turn 1. You'll see a big cloud of dust right about now, and I wasn't sure who it was, but it was Glenn that went off. The slow motion, you can get a good glimpse of the white and blue. And I'm like, what happened? 2 spins basically within a lap or so of each other. And it turns out you'll see Glenn here on the side of turn 9 in a minute. This is just another replay of that from the stands. You'll see Glenn parked on the left side of turn 2, and apparently in the second spin when he went in, he lost a bolt out of the rear suspension, and so the right rear tire was just wobbling around. He couldn't even drive in a straight line, and so his car sat there to the end of the race. So this is right after the spin. It's showing lap 8 and lap 9, and this is just me chasing down. Oh yeah, there's Glenn on the side of the road there, side of the track. In the next couple laps, I'm like, well, okay, I'll just chase Paul down, and instead of finishing second, now I'm going to win the race. And so here's lap 10, and I'm right behind him. I think we get a shot from the exterior here, and you'll be able to see, yep, I'm almost right behind him, and so I'm thinking I'm going to pass him on lap 10 or 11. But the traffic comes into play again, kind of holds up Paul, or Paul uses it at least to get around, and you see it, if you listen real close, you'll hear a mistake by me here coming out of turn 2. So what you heard was me missing a shift. I tried to go from third gear up into fourth, which I'm normally already in fourth there all the way around turn 2, but the traffic had slowed us down, so I downshifted. Anyway, I made a silly little mistake and got stuck here, and in a second here you'll hear my crew chief assess just how much of a mistake it was. Not sure you can make that out, but my wife and Bob said that I had lost 8 seconds by getting stuck behind the traffic. Truth is, I wasn't overly concerned about it. The race yesterday lasted a full 18 race laps, and I'm only on lap 10 or 11 at that time, and now I figure I'll catch them up by 12 or 13, and shouldn't be that much of a problem. And sure enough, here's lap 14, and I'm getting pretty close to Paul again. And so I'm expecting I'm going to pass him. I think, yeah, we go onto the front straight here. I'll get down pretty close to him. I think we'll shift, excuse me, to the view from the stands. Oh, look there, I pull off my tear-offs just like in the movies. I'm getting serious. I'm ready to pass Paul. But I just saw the white flag, which means this is the last lap, and all of a sudden I'm like, uh-oh. And so I had kind of done a head fake down inside of turn 1 there. That actually slowed me down because I wasn't on the optimum line. And now all of a sudden I'm thinking, I'm going to have to try and pass Paul. He does a really good turn too. He hadn't been doing it that well. So now I'm just going to try to get close to him in turn 3, up through 4 and 5, down the hill through 5, and then I'm going to try to get a jump on him out of turn 6, up over the little hump here in a minute, and chase him down and pass him in turn 8 and, quote, win the race, or at least that's the plan. So I make a nice turn, nice tight line through here. I'm on the gas early. It doesn't look it here in the GoPro, and especially with that big brown bug guts that's been on the camera the whole time in the way. So we'll switch to the exterior view here in a moment, and you'll be able to see just how close I was. This is last corner, last turn of the race. I could have followed Paul through, but I really wouldn't have been able to pass him at this point, so I just kind of backed off. Poor Bill, I think this is about the 3rd time he'd gotten trapped out there with us, and I thought, well, I'll just enjoy second place finish and go on to the next race, which is going to be in Indianapolis, and not worry about it. Had a good time. It was fun chasing Paul down twice, even though I never really got to pass him back. Good race, Paul. Good tactics. Glad you got a win. Oh, this is that final lap from the stands. There's the white flag right, and you can just see how close I am. The GoPro's the fisheye lens on it makes the distance look a lot further than it is. I'm gonna actually I think I'll play almost this whole lap here for you, and you'll see as we leave turn 7 and go into turn 8 here, it'll be super close. This is turn 2, coming down to 3. Paul pulls away a little bit there. I make a little bit of a catch up. There's the traffic up in front, that Bill, number 17, in his old Lola. I don't really realize he's there yet, though. I don't think I've seen him. And this is down the hill, turn 5. I'm getting pretty close. I set up a little better than Paul did for turn 6 here over the top of the hill. And you'll see I'm using his draft, and I'm really closing, and you can see just how close I got there. Oh well. Fun day.
It's 4 laps shorter than yesterday.
You probably heard Bob say 4 laps shorter than yesterday. Surprised us all. At this point, I'm going to let the native audio take over for a few minutes. You can just listen in.
That was actually a good race.
Yeah.
I'm actually real pleased with myself not following Paul through there in 8 and 9. I could have had a chance, but it was just too risky.
Yeah, exactly.
And poor Bill didn't know where to go. We had them surrounded. And I was trying to grab Paul behind him, and it almost worked. But poor Bill was just checking, so it stayed in the And that other traffic up in turn 3, I just screwed up royally, or I had Paul much earlier. So my own fault.
Good job, baby.
Yeah, good race.
I thought for sure you were going to pass him.
Well, I was, and then I screwed up behind the traffic in turn 3, or when we went in there. He got by traffic quick, and
I know.
I screwed it up. I could have.
I did the challenge presented by VARA style.
I didn't have to
Here,
tell
Willows
him
Springs
what his fault.
International Raceway. That was room 3 up next. Fourth.
It was fun shaking Paul around like that.
Here at Willows Springs International Raceway, America's original.
And here comes my lovely wife to shut the GoPro off with her checkered visor on. As always, thanks to Vince and Cody and Bob, great teammates, great crew. Of course, to my lovely wife. Had a good time. Good job, Paul, on the win. Good tactical race. And these next 2 photos, I don't even know how to explain them. You can make what you want on them. Or as the note said, come see me in the pits, and I'll give you the story. Bye-bye.